This is NSR.
Welcome to Newcastle Student Radio. I'm Hope Lynes, and today I'm here with Emily from Slow Pulp. Firstly, would you like to tell me how you would describe the genre of your band and what kind of sound you like to produce?
Yeah, that's always somehow the trickiest question. We we normally describe ourselves as just rock music, but I know that's the most general way to and cop out answer. But I guess we had a lot of different influences on this last record. We've been called shoegaze, we've been called dream pop, we've been called country for some of the songs.
Wow, okay.
Folk. There's a lot of different vibes that I think we're trying to mix, but I think it all rock encapsulates all of that.
Nice. So would you say rock bands are your main inspiration for this album? What bands have inspired the production of it?
Yeah, definitely. A big one for us on this record was Fleetwood Mac. I feel like that was
Nice.
the main one that we talked about, and I'm a huge Stevie Nicks fan, and Henry, our guitar player, does all the mixing and production on our records. So I know that he had watched a Fleetwood Mac documentary while we were making this, and he got inspired by some of the things that they did. So that's a big one. Smashing Pumpkins is another one that I think we all really like, that their music and the way that they have gone about producing their records. Coldplay, we love Coldplay. Their first three albums, Coldplay's first three albums. I think I was actually just listening to Coldplay last night while I was making dinner.
I don't think I've ever sat down and listened to Coldplay. I'll do it when I go to dinner tonight. That's what I'll do.
I would recommend it. It's good vibes. If you listen to I was listening to A Rush of Blood to the Head. I think it's a great album, and the production on those records are really awesome too. The textures that they use. I was also listening to a lot of Joni Mitchell when I was working on this record, and Neil Young. For I think a lot of the songs I wanted to be able to stand on their own with just guitar and vocals, and I think folk artists do that to such a great degree. So I listened to a lot of that. Yeah, I think a big array of things.
A lot of older influences, which is good to see, especially because it's such a new combination of things, all the genres mixing. It's really good to see different older bands and stuff that you're bringing together. What was the production like on the album? Because I know you mentioned that your fellow bandmate does all the mixing, but it's self-produced, this album, isn't it? The debut.
Yep, it is. So Henry did all of the mixing and production, and he did an amazing job. And he's also talked a lot about how the pandemic helped him to be able to do that in a lot of ways, because he lost his job and had all this time on his hands and could just completely dive into the record and spend all his time on that and try things that he probably otherwise wouldn't have tried. So I think it turned out awesome. He did a great job.
So you'd say that the pandemic has opened up different creative pathways for the band?
Yeah, I think more so we've just been given time.
Yeah.
We would have we had a tour booked in the spring, and if we had gone on that, I don't think we would have finished the record on time. No way. So it was kind of we kind of needed them to be canceled in a way to be able to finish the record on time.
Have you got I know obviously it's a stupid question because no one knows when gigs are going back on, but have you got any plans to go on tour soon with the new album? Hopefully, obviously.
I would love to. Not set in stone. We've been having some tour dates that keep getting rescheduled and yeah. So, but we are doing we just taped a live session that is going to come out, I think, in December at some point. So that'll kind of replace touring in a way.
Will that be the whole album live?
No, it's just going to be, I think it's 5 songs, but nice. I'm sure that we'll do more iterations of some of the other songs live.
And one of your songs have just released a music video for it. Was it 2 weeks ago ish?
Yes, Track.
Track, yeah. I thought it was called
yeah.
Track, but when I saw Track, I was like, is it called Track or is it just
Or is it the track, right?
the Track? But yeah, what was like the inspiration for that music video? Was anything like inspiring the graphics or anything?
Yeah, so the Corinne James made the animation for that video, and she drew, it's all pencil hand drawn, and she made like 3,000 drawings for that video. It's so crazy. But that song is about basically how much I love my mom and like my relationship with her and my grandmother, who passed away when I was in high school. And so it has this really like emotional quality to it. And I talked to Corinne about that, and it's also about like Alzheimer's and memory loss. And she just like took it and ran with it and nailed it so much. Like I think the way that she took that story and kind of like made it her own, and the way that she related to it turned into such a beautiful visual. And I see like my mom and myself in that video so much. Yeah, the first time I watched it, I just like bawled.
It sounds really
so
lovely.
great.
Yeah, it sounds really lovely. I wasn't expecting that at all. That's a really lovely response. Is a lot of your music then very personal, like based on your personal? That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. This whole record is a lot of like me kind of like figuring out how to be a person. A lot of learning.
Well, I'm gonna go and listen to Coldplay.
Yes.
Coldplay record. It was lovely to speak to you, and I hope that you get to put your record on tour soon. Hopefully.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me, and thanks
Thank
for
you very
listening.
much.